This is what it usually looks like. So this is expected. So this is going to the trash. So let's get this changed. Spring is here. It's time for a Kamaz oil change. Let's see what's in the box. That's 10, 20, 30 liters of oil for the Kamaz. But now let's check what the current engine oil level is. And then you can see why I'm doing the oil change right now. The engine oil dipstick of the Kamaz is right here. And this is the issue. Right now the engine oil dipstick is showing us no engine oil, and the oil that is on it, it's very dirty. So let's get this changed. Now the old engine oil of the Kamaz is going to go into this container. But first things first, let's change the gloves and then I'll see you under the truck. Now we're going to put this container under this oil pan, and then let's see how much oil comes out. That's completely stuck. Let me get another wrench. Let's see what he has to say now. And there you go. Well, it sure smells like diesel engine oil. I think we can leave it be. Let's let it drain for about 10 minutes and we'll be coming back then. This is how we're going to keep it until we're going to clean it. Now while the engine oil is draining, let's check out the air filter. There's a little surprise in there. Now come closer. I have never seen an air filter in such condition. Yep, that's too big. And there you go. Let me know what you think of this air filter. This is complete trash. How is it even possible for an air filter to turn into something like that? It looks as if all of its life has been sucked out of it. Yeah, well, so this is going to the trash. And now the new filter is over there. Let's hope it fits. Now this is the old filter and this is the new filter. You spot the difference? Now this is how the inside of an air filter should look like. And this is how an inside of an air filter looks. I don't know what happened there. But anyway, let's get this one installed now. Now let's get the new filter in. Let's get some grease on this one. I'm not sure, maybe that's good enough now. Let's try to put the cover pack on. And that's it for the air filter. Now let's lift up the cabin, and to make it easier, let's open the doors. Then the weight of the cabin tilts to the front and it's not that heavy to lift it. Disconnecting all the hooks, and it's not as easy as it looks. And always you have to close the lock here. And now it's safe to get under the cabin. And the lock is over here. So while we're under the cabin, let's check what the centrifugal oil filter is doing. Let's get it open. And what usually is in there is a lot of dirt on the sides. This one should come off. There you go. Well, there's oil in here, so that's a good thing. Need another wrench. And this Kamaz engine is already a newer model. It has Kamaz written on it over here. The older models do not have anything here. So here is a little sandwich. I guess we can also take it off later. So I guess I have the wrong wrench. Okay, I'm gonna put the rubber glove on the other hand as well, because this is going to get quite oily now. And there is oil already dripping out of the filter as well. There you go, that's the centrifugal filter. And this is what it usually looks like. You can see there's a lot of dirt on the walls. And it's very, very thick. See? This is what it usually looks like. So this is expected. So let's get this cleaned. So what we're going to do now is we're trying to get off as much as possible from the inside, and then we're going to wash it with petrol. But this is very thick. And this is common when you're using Russian oils. You can see from the sides how it's coming off, and you can see where my fingers have pulled it off already. So a little bit more, and then it's ready to be washed with petrol. And this is what the centrifugal filter is looking right now. I believe it's clean enough, or it almost looks like brand new. And I also cleaned this part here as well. So let's put it all back together. And now the final piece of the puzzle, and then we're done here. And there you go, a job well done. And now it's time to put back the oil cap, and then we can move on to the oil filters. That's good enough. And now to my least favorite part of this job. It's removing the oil filters of the Kamaz. It's going to be quite dirty, but let's try to do it as clean as possible. Okay, this is completely stuck. I think there was about 2 liters of oil here, but we will find out soon. Okay, let's close this up and then we can remove it. This is a very long bolt. And now this filter cover is loose and we can take it off as soon as the oil has stopped dripping. And now the second one. Obviously it's stuck again, so great. Now on this Kamaz, the second oil filter is right on top of the front axle. So it's really difficult to get something under there so oil wouldn't get on the ground. But I'm actually doing quite good right now. So let's try to open it up, get it off, and then we will see how dirty the oil filters were. Finally it's loose. Let's try to get it loose. Well, since it was filled with oil anyway, it's no big deal that it's in there now, but let's be honest, doing a field maintenance that we're doing today, the amount of oil that we spilled is almost non-existent, so I'm really happy with the job right now. But now I'm going to have to change gloves again and then let's clean the filters. And this is what the old oil filter looks like. I think it has done its job quite well, so we can get rid of that. There is a spring under each filter. And the second one as well is here. Same. It's quite dirty. Let's pour out as much oil as possible and then we will clean them up. And there is also a lot of dirt on the bottom of this oil filter. But it's getting much better now. Now we're at the final stages of the oil change. We have cleaned the filter covers. They are nice and shiny now. And all we have to do is put in the new filter. And now it's time to get under the truck and install it. So we'll go one by one. Okay, so the first filter is in position. Now let's get the second one. Back under the truck. Now all we need to do is tighten these bolts and we're ready to put in the new oil. Let's just double check if they are nicely in place and then we can do the final tightening. They seem okay. That should do. Now we have drained the old oil, we have cleaned the centrifugal filter, we have changed the oil filters. The last thing to do now is to put in the new engine oil. Finally! And as I said earlier, 30 liters goes into here. So that's 5. And now I'm going to put the 30 liters in here and then we'll check the dipstick. Now that we have added all the oil, let's pump up the fuel and then we can start the Kamaz. So the fuel pump is here. let's see if it starts. I'm not even going to lower the cabin. I have the key right here, so I can start the truck without lowering it. Let's try it. Okay, so it has been standing for, I think last time I started it last year in November, so almost 6 months, over 6 months now. So no wonder it doesn't want to start. I also felt that the fuel wasn't coming up that easily, so let's try pumping it up again. So let's try again. You know, let's lower the cabin, then I can jump inside and let's see if it starts then. To lower the cabin, let's remove the safety and then it's going to come down. So the safety is over here. Exactly. And now we can just pull it down. Nice and easy. And that's it. So now I'm going to jump into the cabin and this Kamaz is going to start. Now let's check the oil level. Luckily on the Kamaz you can also check the oil level without the cabin being raised. And we can see that the oil level is almost full. Let's try again. Yes, so oil level is slightly over being full, but that's fine. We'll try for a bit and then we'll check the oil level again. Yep, so let's start it up now. Now the Kamaz has finally started up. As I said before, it's been over 6 months since we last started it, and that explains the smoke. But yeah, let's let it run a bit. Then the air in the brake systems will come up, and after that we'll just go for a really short drive because it's been a long day already and we are planning to have another barbecue. But right now let's let it warm up and then we'll go. So we're not giving up that easily. I let the Kamaz run a bit. I played with the parking brake or the handbrake, and it seems now that the truck is moving. So now we're going for a little drive. Now welcome to the inside of the Kamaz. Just look at these beautiful red seats. And overall there's a lot of room in this truck. And it has 3 seats, so there's room for 2 of your friends as well. Not many of today's trucks have 3 seatings or seats for free. So now let's take off the handbrake and let's drive a bit. There is a slight air leak somewhere. This is why the siren is going to come on now, I think. But with the Kamaz you always take off in 2nd gear. And now I'm going to switch to 3rd. And compared to the Zil and the Ural, the drive in the Kamaz is much softer. The camera might be jumping around a bit right now, but overall, if you're in the driver's seat or in the passenger seat, it's much more comfortable in the Kamaz compared to the Zil, the Ural, and so on. Now we're switching to 4th. Everything is so smooth in here. The diesel engine of the Kamaz is so powerful. It can drive this truck at almost any gear without any problems. While the Zil and the Ural, you know, the petrol engines of these trucks, they're not as powerful as this. And you know, the diesel engines always have more torque and are much better to drive when they are on trucks. Let's see if we can get into 5th gear. And this is the final gear of the Kamaz. We're doing about 50 kilometers an hour. And you know, I love the Zil, but I also love the Kamaz. They are so completely, they are trucks from completely different worlds. Well, maybe when you're going off-road and driving only in the forest, and maybe the Zil is a bit more reliable, that it doesn't break down that easily, and it's much more easier to repair. But when you have to drive one of these trucks, let's say every day, then the Kamaz is much better. And now the siren came back on again, because there is a small air leak, but it doesn't affect the driving at all. We have the brakes and so on, so that it's fine to drive right now. And as you can see over here, this truck has only driven 25,000 kilometers. It was a fire truck, so it didn't drive around a lot, but still 25,000 kilometers, and the truck is over 30 years old now. And when you also look in the engine bay, it looks like everything looks like brand new on the outside. Well, you can say that maybe since it is a fire truck, it has more engine hours, because on the fire trucks you have to do regular, you have to fire them up regularly and let them run a bit, but still only 25,000 kilometers. And probably during the Soviet times, I'm pretty sure they didn't fire up the fire trucks as much as they should have. They probably did not follow the regulations. Yeah. And now this Kamaz is mine, and I love driving it. And you know, this brings us to the end of today's video. If you like this video, leave a like. Let me know what you like the most in the comment sections. And also don't forget to hype the video and subscribe to my channel if you love content like this. But now we're going to end, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.